And let us begin. So I will share my screen. Hope you see it. So, dear ambassadors, let me welcome you to next Industry 5.0 Global Meetup. David, please, I don't know if somebody will join, if you can accept him, or if I will have the right, but please try to watch it, because I'm not sure if I will be able to do it within the presentation.
I gave you the hosting, right? So can you give me a co-host, make me a co-host?
Okay, so just a moment.
If you make
so
somebody co-host, they would be able to add
okay, so let me stop sharing, make the co-host. This is the...
You need to hold on to the person who you want to make co-host. Right click and say make host.
I see. Okay, thanks. Make co-host. All right. So I just make you co-host. I will go again to the screen and share the screen and share the presentation. And say once again, welcome on the Global Meetup. Today is the September 18th. And what is interesting, we cover our network, give the access to systematic waste prevention to 64% of global population, more than 5 billion people, thanks to you. And this is very interesting because we reached this number within just 9 months' time, plus India, which was 2 months ahead. So what is the present? So at the moment, really, I don't know whether you see the same like me, but the Industry 5.0 name is resonating very strongly around the globe. It's generally the number of articles, events, and other references increased by 300%, and I'm watching it every single day. And in India, it is 600% more. So it is really big. But unfortunately, 90% of those are not referring to the origin of Industry 5.0, but is delivering intentionally or most frequently no intentionally misleading information, saying Industry 5.0 is industrial IoT or Industry 5.0 is a robot, new robot. That's not true, and you know it. So this is why even your role is very important as the ambassador role. I delivered at the end of August final word on large industrial conference in India. 1 year after generally my keynote speech started the age of Industry 5.0 in India. Within 3 days, the post reached 220,000 views from generally most from one country only. So you see how impactful it can be. On September 1st, you know very well that we launched the world first, and I was told that generally first in a history, waste prevention legislation. Nobody did this before. And this is why it is very important it reach your countries, your people. So the translation in the language or more languages, please do it because it is very important. And this is why we have to understand, and every single ambassador has to understand, that Industry 5.0 must be promoted actively. I cannot do it for all. This is why you are there. You can promote much more better than me. And it shouldn't be done only in a written, it should be even in the voice, so in the sound. So what is the fulfillment of the ambassador's role? Let's repeat it again. Industry 5.0 ambassador must deliver the industry to market companies, politicians, businesses, and everyone, and to education system. It is very important. Must be open, ambassador must open unspoken topics. Like, you know, the word social waste. None of you met it before. but every one of you resonate with it. And trust me, all the people do the same. And I use the the LinkedIn polls and so on to wake up the people. And you see here how the people reflect to that. Yes, we would like to know more. 100% of people in a poll says yes. So let's utilize it. Ambassador is a networker, has to grow our network and connect it with the others. This is why we have this global meetups. And you should be the first who test whether it is realistic to do something before you ask others to do. It is very important. And it is the role model. You are the role model for all who would like to follow. And time to time, it happened that during my control, I recognize that Industry 5.0 on Google get more hits or more search results than Industry 4.0, which, if you consider that nobody ever invested a single penny in Industry 5.0, it's unbelievable if you compare it to volume of investment by governments to Industry 4.0. So what is the role, duration, and the roadmap for Ambassador? Firstly, you know, it's education. You have to learn what it is because you will be asked. And if you don't know the answers, don't say, I know everything. That's not right. Ask about it, but be more and more strong in the knowledge. Then you implement. 1 year should be done for the implementation of your knowledge. And implement it the way which is closest to you. You can do it online, you can do it in workshops, you can do it in factories. It depends on what you are doing, what is your core business. And then you will and you should be the leader with a continuous and permanent presence, because you will be the one to whom the others will come and ask, and you can lead millions, because we have the technology to do it. So you cannot buy the ambassador's role. You cannot put it in a world. You must have it inside. Every ambassador must create an environment in which he or she will be able to hand it over to the others. And the true ambassador does not disappear from the ecosystem when he hands over the role to the other, because he or she become the ecosystem. You know, the role model for me and for Industry 5.0 is the nature, and the nature does it exactly this way. So generally, we have to educate the Industry 5.0 heroes to be the next ambassadors, because the ambassadors will become the next heroes. And this is the evolution. Because ambassador is a tree, network is the forest. But there is something which we have to avoid, and it's very important to speak about it. Firstly, passivity. Don't wait, I will do all the work, all the others do all the work. No. I can do the work in one country. I was able to build up such a huge network, but I am not able to do the work for all of you. It's impossible. This is why I have created you to help. Don't be aggressive. You have seen 90% of people misuse the name just as a buzzword. Don't be aggressive on them. Give them the helping hand. Today, I have seen 2 webinars from India, videos. There is people from Microsoft are speaking, KPMG and similar. They all mislead. I was not bad on them. I just put a comment where I offered to give them the insight in the real Industry 5.0 environment and the history of last 8 years of development, because some of them are speaking that Industry 5.0 will come someday, not knowing that it is here for 8 years already. Please don't let your work on the last minute. It's not healthy, it's not good, it will not help you. It will put you under stress, and that's not good. I am preparing every of my keynote speech for several months to be sure I will be able to deliver. Don't deliver empty promises. The politicians do so. We are not politicians. We are human beings, and if we promise, we will keep our word. So don't promise something what you cannot fulfill. That's unhealthy. Don't ask others to do without you try to do it yourself. We do not want to be like the managers who say to the workers, do that because it's better this way, but never trying that. No, try it. I know it's hard. And trust me, I'm 50 in a few months, and it's not easy for me to do some jobs, but I still do. Don't keep silent. You can have great knowledge, but if you don't say about it, if you don't share it, it will be like if you are silent and nobody will listen to these great ideas. Don't be silent. Don't make monologues. There are so many events called sustainability events, COP26, whatever. I receive every single day invitation. And when I join, there is no possibility to put questions, no possibility to interact. There is nothing. There's just a monologue of people. Just now, 2 days ago, it was the World Economic Forum event. Not a single question from the audience was asked. Nothing was delivered. It was wasted time. So monologue is wasted time. Don't work only for money, because the value is not only in financial value. There is much more for me, and I am sure for you as well. The biggest value is the wasteless world, the heritage which we will leave behind to our children, to their children, to all the generations which will come. So don't do the work only if somebody will pay you, but at the same time, please do understand, doing for free, it's not good as well. Because if you do everything for free, you will realize very soon, same as I did, the people do not value what is for free. Because if you get it for free, it will be the first thing which you get wasted. You just throw it away. Because you don't have to pay anything or spend your time on it or whatever. Please, it has to be, the balance has to be kept. So I hope you know and you watch what is the size of Industry 5.0 today. So just 2 days ago, we reached number 70. More than 5 billion people, thanks to Philippines generally, because Philippines has 122 million people. So we broke the 5 billion level. And there is only one country from the top 15 most populated country which is not on board. And this is China. All the others are on board already. So for sure, you are interested what we have to achieve till the end of the year. I will tell you. We will launch new centralized website for Industry 5.0. We will launch Industry 5.0 online education platform, which you will get a possibility to hear more very soon within today. We have to have the translation of waste prevention legislation in 30 languages. We have 15 at the moment, so we have to reach more. And not only in a written, but even in a spoken form is very important. Trust me, the word, because many people cannot watch your videos, but they can listen to you. And this is important to deliver and listen, and especially to deliver it in languages which are not existing in a written form. And there are many of those, many all around the globe. I would like to hear and watch every single ambassador in a network to deliver his or her keynote speech on whatever event. Please do. because it will make you closer to Industry 5.0, and especially it will connect you in the eyes of the audience to Industry 5.0 environment. Without it, you are just somewhere in the shadows. That's not good. We will deliver at least 3 Industry 5.0 keynotes to 3 or more international events. I am booked for 5 already. I would like that our Industry 5.0 ambassador network grow by 25%. We are 70 at the moment. So I would appreciate if every single one of you will speak to the people and your friends and your networks in other countries and describe the network, describe what we do, how we do it, and offer the role. I will be the one who decide, but generally it is open. There is no limit. Just the decathlon must be fulfilled. We will open the first Garage Academy education title. That's my aim. And finally, I hope and I believe we will be able to open the Industry 5.0 Association, which is being asked by many clients which would like to join us but need something. And association will be the name probably. And we have to remain human. And please understand, it's not easy, especially if somebody comes with big amount of money and offer instead of humanity, great role. So sometimes it's not so easy. It is important to speak about network economy. We did last time, and I will repeat it as well. For the 8 years, every single investment is done by my money. No investor, no bank, no funding. I make a project, I collect money from my clients, I deliver results, and I invest all the money back in the development of the Industry 5.0 network. I can do it with one country, with 2 maybe. I cannot do it with 70. So this is why you are there. You have to switch to profitable business, to generate business, and then share part of the profits as discussed within and with the network. And please do understand, I will not spend your money to buying new car. No, I will spend it to make the network stronger, to develop new tools, new keynotes, everything, the education. So it will be spent within the network. Each and every ambassador must contribute to the growth. It can be done on financial, from the profits, or it can be done on the non-financial level. You are expert in many segments. You are great podcasters. You are great photographers. You can do websites. Let's see what you can offer, and let's offer it, let's apply it. Because this is the easiest for you how to support. And you have to do it. Don't fear about it. But at the same time, please, let's be one. Making more websites, more talks, more, it does not help the unity. The unity will help if we keep on one place. Because the distraction is visible from 17 goals, from whatever. This 17 goals has, I think, 128 sub-goals. That's wrong. That's wrong approach. So, and please remember or remind, if the network will be profitable, every single ambassador will be more profitable. As I said, it's not money for me. Money does not make me happy. The wasteless work makes me happy. So, to give you a final word of this short speech, so some of you already joined 1 year ago. Some of you is just few days on board, but all of you follow one aim. And this is very important for me. Thanks to lockdown and COVID, we learned how to use something what is here for decades, digital communication. So let's use it, same as all the others on the ground mines. Because the on the ground mines are growing and more people, politicians and discussions speak about it, but they speak about waste to be used. No, that's wrong. What firstly should be, the waste should be prevented, because then we generate much more and we save much more energy and everything. We does not need to crash up the bottle to use it again. We just simply can use it again. That's the big difference, the mindset change which we have to achieve. I am happy that I have spoken with every single one of you, because without a direct contact, you will not become ambassador. And I am happy that we speak the language of efficiency. And many do, even not being the ambassadors yet or the heroes yet. And many confirmed to me how important it is that the message was not delivered in a complicated language of science. No, I am not able to speak this language, but I try to speak the simple language, and please do the same. Only so the others will understand you. And don't forget why you joined. You have to be proud to be human, as I am. And to give you a short peek in the future, but this is, please do not use this. You will receive this presentation after, but please do not use this, the last page at the moment. Do not make it present to others. It is internal things. It's not agreed yet, but it's close. Many of you ask for a branding of our logo, because the logo, I don't know if everyone knows, it's a logo of a car, a very dirty engine car by Ford. I didn't know at the time when I took it, I didn't know this, but it is so. So the rebranding is needed. And here is what came to me. How do you like it? This is the day of Industry 5.0, and this is the night. And this will be the website in which every single one of you will be visible. The people will be able to zoom on it. The people will be able to get your lectures, your offer in connection with the others. So this is something what is necessary to be done. And so this is just the possible view on the future. And you are the first one in the world who see it. And I would appreciate your comments after in the discussion. This is all from me at the moment. I stop sharing. And I would like to give the word generally to Achim. Because Achim, as you know from the last time, I will make him if I make you co-host, Achim, you probably will be able to present. So I make him co-host. And Achim will present to you the education platform, which he is already having and which he is offering to us, all of us, to use to speak with our clients. So Achim, your word. Your microphone is not on.
Yeah, again, now you can hear me. Sorry for that. Hi, everybody. A couple of you have already met last time when we met back in June. When I got in contact with Michael, so this is my introduction already, we were talking about educating people because waste prevention, it is as well a subject of educating people. A lot of people, and you know that the well, the governmental elections are coming up in Germany, so waste prevention, environmental protection, et cetera, is, we saw the statistics last night, is about in the minds of about 60% of the people in Germany. So they think about, and my part in my professional life is basically educating people, and we designed our own platform called HSE 5.0, which is designed from the origin to do health and safety, but it can be done for, or it can be used for any e-learnings. But first of all, what I would like you to ask, and I share my screen, is, let me check here, here we are, is we have an Industry 5.0 group on LinkedIn, and there are only 17 of us member of that group. And I found it, or I find it already a bit complicated to find here and there people in the network. So if you can, and this group was set up by Stradios, the Greek colleague, and Michael. And if you really can join that group, you find it Humans in Industries Ambassadors 5.0. It would at least help me a lot. And I think as well, it would probably help as well to structure the communication a bit, because what I find always in the chat is a bit like, there is a comment, there's a project that is nice, and then there are tons of comments and comments and comments, and maybe 2 different projects are coming into the chat. So here we can actually post our own stuff and really comment on the project and get the answers done and a bit more structured. And talking about structuring, Michael and I, we were working a lot on this one. So I'm gonna blend you out here. Let me just check. This is the one. So this is what we came up at the very end, is pictures on a landing page that's on my server, which is the Ambassador 5.0 network e-learning portal, in order to enable you or other people you would acquire to work into in the network, to get them involved into the principles of Industry 5.0. So what I would like to invite you, and I'll post that link later, is to register. And once you're registered, you can basically access the content. And I hope I get the right password now. No, it's the wrong password. So let me see if I get the correct one. Here we are. And if you enter that, you find the first e-learning course, Introduction to Industry 5.0. So Michael and I, we've already started. There's a short welcome message, and then we have basically documents. What we posted mostly was links where you can find Michael's YouTube channel, the keynotes, and the waste prevention document, legislation document from Michael, so that you have the content and the values at your fingertips. And then you find 6 simple questions. And obviously, once you are registered in that course, you can chat, you can upload your own stuff, your own notes, you can share it with others in the chat, et cetera, and you can use that as well as an invitation for heroes and other members who would like to join our network in your country. That's basically it. That's for free, cost anything. That's my contribution to the network, is the work I'm delivering here with your input. And obviously we are asking as well for your feedback here in order to improve that. A second thing we would like to come up with is the thing that we all need to come up with an e-learning course and a portal that can be delivered to people in various countries. Now, there are 2 challenges ahead of us. Every country has a different culture in terms of waste prevention, And a lot of countries do have different languages. So we need to address these two challenges, and that can be done in two ways. Either you come up with a course in your local language, and that's adapted to your local culture. Or the second is that, and now money comes into the game. We can use Google artificial intelligence in order to do online translations, so that courses are only done once, and the content can be delivered in every language that is present worldwide. So that's up to you to decide. If you want to use it in your country, for your customers, for your people, etc., we can set up your own platform. Again, that would cost some money, but that's up to you. You can decide. First thing is get registered, have a look at the course, give us your feedback, and then we can basically go further from there. I'm basically done, Michael. So I stop my sharing, and I post the link in the chat.
All right. So,
and then it is up to you.
All right. So thanks a lot. I just said that few more people join us, and few are trying to join, but due to some limitations, like for example, in Belarus, because of the political situation, we cannot be joined from, and some other destinations has some limitations as well. But this is why we are recording, this is why we will share. And because many of you are new and don't know each other, I would like to use this opportunity, because we are the group which can share easily with the others. I would like to ask you to shortly introduce, let's use 5 minutes for introduction, and introduce each of you to the others. So please take out your core expertise, name all the time the country where you are in, and plus what you can do for the network itself. And I will take you as I see you on a screen. So I will start with Miguel. So Miguel, if you can start your 5 minutes now.
Thank you, Michael. Greetings, dear ambassadors. I am based in El Salvador, Central America, a tiny country that is very close to the ecological collapse because of high population density in the wrong educational framework and the wrong economic system. I have been privileged because my father was a career diplomat to live in different parts of the world. And I have a high ambition because I feel I have a high responsibility because of my experience to really leave a legacy, contribute with a legacy to a changing world. And I am very concerned of the current path that we are following. But at the same time, I am happy that finally we are touching ground, and there is a common realization around the world that unless we change, not lightly, but deeply, but in a practical way, we will not survive. So I, of course, will need to make a difference in El Salvador and if possible, in Central America by coordinating with the new ambassadors that will come very shortly, I'm sure, in our key region. But I am also committed to help make a difference all around the world, and to enrich my action by your experience and vision and commitment. I think we all of us realize that we are not a rock, that we are not just water or soil, that we have been given gifts and talents that we need to put now into action, and they can be really high impact changing the current status if we keep the human element and the solidarity and the passion for seeing changes on the ground. I'm committed to Industry 5.0, but also towards putting this framework into a bigger context of regenerative development and being supported at the industry level, but also in national frameworks that are more conducive to solid and significant change. So I am excited to be part of your team, and I'll be really happy to join you in your efforts and to learn from you and really create excitement and enthusiasm for others to join. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Miguel. It's a big pleasure and big honor to have you on board. And right now, I would like to give a word to Lila, who was, again, one of the first who joined today. So Lila, it's your turn.
Michael, could I jump?
Yes,
But
sorry,
my
Lila.
Sorry, can I jump in next? Because my phone's going to die and I'm not at home.
I see. So Lila, you will be the next, okay? So
You're making me jump the queue of all the people in the alphabetical order. Michael, you're naughty. Let's hear Karen.
Okay, thanks a lot. So your word, Karen.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, my phone's going to die at some point soon. So yeah, my name's Karen Dicken, and I'm the UK ambassador. The reason that I think that it's really important to take on this position is I'm a jewelry designer myself, and it's probably one of the worst polluting industries in terms of things like metal extraction and how bad the whole thing is to sorry, am I still here? Yeah. Kind of all the really horrible things that come out of mining and things like that. I'm also a lecturer. So I teach students at college and university level. And I think that it's just really important that we all get together and try and push the kind of human element of Industry 5. So I'm going to be running a conference next year as well to hopefully raise more awareness of it in the UK.
So thanks a lot. We have seen, or we can listen, yesterday I made the voice of Karen visible together with the waste prevention legislation. Thanks you for that. It's great. I think it has found already its audience. So we will share it more. And this time, sorry for that, but Lila, it will be your turn. I am sure nobody will disturb you right now, even me.
My pleasure. Good morning, good afternoon to wherever you are. And it's my pleasure to be Industry 5.0 ambassador for the United Arab Emirates. I'm human and I am an engineering business management professional. Unlike most of you who have a core duty, a core responsibility by virtue of your job profiles, that you have been involved in a lot of environmental activity, I have just been a person who has supported very heavily the cause by being a CSR champion. So for me, it's always been very enjoyable to actually work together with people who have been doing good things in humanity. I have been supporting it, but I have never been a lead in it. So I am very happy to be here in this network where we can learn from each other. And I do believe that nobody is perfect in everything that they do. And that's the beauty of all of us, to have the feeling of learning from one another and to grow for a common aim, as what Michael said, aim and not really the word goal. So first of all, obviously, what Michael has already conveyed, I'm kind of in the education phase because it's just recently that I've joined into this activity. And I do believe within the 12 months of implementation, there will be plenty to do here in this country and to really be a leader in this. So I'm also very happy to know from the last conversation that I had with Michael already that we have now, with the assistance of Akim, Shala, it is really a pleasure to meet with you, to know that we're going to be soon having our own website, and we're going to be having the own e-learning online experience. This is something that I wanted to ask, whether you're going to be plugging in Michael's videos, but you already answered my question to that. So I'm happy. With regards to the waste legislation prevention, I think maybe Michael, in your presentation, somewhere you wrote world prevention legislation. That's something that you may want to edit, please. It's the waste prevention legislation. And it will be so nice. I mean, I already am visualizing something like a keynote address. I've never done it before, but in the course of learning, I'm sure we'll be able to establish something like this. I also really like this point that you raised about, you don't have to crush the bottle in order to reuse it, but make sure that you can really use the bottle in industrial upcycling. So this is a very nice point from today's session that I will carry and surely use. I also wanted to share that we are happy that now when we look at China joining us, I do have some associates there. Let me see if I can reach out. But with that, then we would have covered a lot of the globe for the Industry 5.0 network. So another thing I wanted to also share, which I had put in here, Akim, he showed this humans and Industry 5.0 ambassadors page, which at one point of time, I know that our Greek ambassador had created. I don't recall the exact name, but I know it was somewhere from Greece that it came in. But post that, I see two other LinkedIn pages, which is Industry 5.0 Ambassador, and the other one is the network as well. So now we have 3 LinkedIn pages. My humble request is for Akim and Michael to actually choose only one, so that the whole group would be united to be in one platform now that we have an expert in the field. Yeah, so in conclusion, I feel that I am the tree, which is the ambassador, in the forest, which is the network. And so we all together, let's go to make the green world. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and I am sure you are the leader. The question is why you have not been asked to be the leader before. That's another question, but for me, you are one of the leaders because you have been from the very first day very proactive. And this is for me the sign of leader.
Okay, Michael, to add to that, sorry, I didn't share. Just yesterday, I noticed that one of the local people who is highly influential in the country has started a page on LinkedIn called Sustainability Heroes. So I wrote to him, I described about the Industry 5.0 in my own words. And yesterday he sent me a connection request. So I've become his first connect now. I hope that I can join this group and promote Industry 5.0, because in this country, like everybody will have, I'm sorry, I don't want to take too much of time. We have many people, but I just want to say that the challenges that exist in UAE are very, 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 very high, because the propaganda that's done for the 3R, the reduce, recycle, and reuse, is just beyond and above. It's huge. So sustainability is something that is spoken about in every school, in every community, in every industry, in every company. So it's massive. For me to break that and to actually talk about Industry 5.0, will be a dream come true.
I am happy to hear that. And as I said, we are really in a stage where everyone in the world is start to speaking. They do not understand what is behind, and this is our role to explain. So thanks a lot for the introduction. I would like to hand over right now to David, because thanks to David, who, as I said, look as superhero today, we are able to meet here. And please, David, make your introduction, because you made a lot of things in connection to Industry 5.0, thanks to your podcast and education and the other project. So you show up that it is really very strong. So please introduce yourself to those who does not know you yet. And I will be back in a minute with new cup of milk.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Michael. For today's meeting, I will try and much as possible to be very brief with this. My name is David, and I'm the ambassador for Ghana in West Africa. So it's been a very interesting journey since the latter part of last year, joining Michael's network and also meeting you all every now and then. We saw different people coming in, and it's been very, very exciting. I came in as an ambassador, and I'm really happy that some of the things that have been announced today have been things that we've been discussing for a very long time. So seeing results today has been, it's like really, really exciting. And one thing that I just want to say that is really, really exciting to me is we have seen people come in and people go. Initiatives started and looked like they were hanging, but I'm really happy that we can achieve results. So it's something that gives me a lot of hope that no matter what happens and no matter the people that come in and go for, whatever reason that it is, we should still keep hanging, because unity really is strength. And it's a word that, it's a proverb that comes from my country, and they say that if you have broom, we have traditional brooms. If you have one broom and you take one stick out and you break it, it's very easy to break. But if you have all the brooms together, united, you try to break it, there is no way you can break it. So as humans, let's try to let this unity stick within us, and we can produce results. So we created Industry 5.0 library, because when we came, we realized that it was really, really important that we have online presence. So we were talking about that. So in the meantime, where we were trying to work on the website, we decided to put in a library where we could always refer people to the webpage on my company's website. And so that was something that we were using for a while. And we did a first introduction of Industry 5.0 on our podcast, the Green Living Chat podcast. And it has been interesting. And since then, we actually created a new segment on the podcast called Industry 5.0 Conversations, where we have conversations with people in the industry. And together with Michael, we host them to discuss things in their processes and how they can adapt Industry 5.0 into their operations. And it's been a very interesting thing that we do here and then. And we also have an Industry 5.0 let's say technology, which is constructed wetlands that we are using in treating wastewater. Constructed wetlands technology has been in the system for a very long time now, but our constructed wetlands is sort of trying to emerge all facilities that are in the environment, make it greener, and try and make good use of the land, because constructed wetlands uses a lot of land. So why don't we merge, like building hotels or building recreational facilities, or building, places where people can just relax, building even libraries, restaurants, and other things, and merge it with this constructed wetland system, and still not tamper with nature, but just make sure that we can fuse our systems into nature. Meanwhile, the waste that comes out from the cities and from the facilities that we build on it can be treated beneath or beside using the wetland. So this is something that we've been trying to get a lot of people to adapt to. Education is going on. Some clients have also accepted to come in, and it's been interesting. So for me, Industry 5.0 here, I think that a lot of African countries need to also adapt to this. The conversations are still going on. I still communicate with people here and there, even on the podcast, to tell them about these issues. And we just hope that in the near future, we can still have lots of African countries and more ambassadors representing their countries, and being more proactive on that, because sometimes we see people coming in and going out, as we have seen. And Michael has a dream to create like an Industry 5.0 African network that is going to be together to start, new initiatives. It's something that we still dream to have. We wanted to do that, I think, about 3 months ago, and some few things happened here and there, so we had to hang in with it. But hope is not lost yet. I'm super excited about the upcoming website, and I'm super excited about the logo, because this is really important. You have no idea how important this is. So I will have some few comments also about the, I forgot the name, the new platform for education, which I would like to us to communicate. Maybe we can have a meeting to talk a little bit about it and see how we can improve it. But I've jotted some few points here. I don't want this conversation to be very long. So I will get in touch with you and we can talk more about it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, David. I just spoke about your project with Miguel generally, which is right now there is starting a project in El Salvador for cleaning the waters out of the mines generally and so on. So for sure you two should get in touch, contact, because part of it will be applicable. What is important? Everything what we are doing is scalable, applicable everywhere. There are no limits, because if you change the process, no matter where you do that. And just now, I would like to ask Rudy if, because he is having on his knees the new hero, and I am not sure if he would like to speak or prefer to listen. So,
Michael,
I can talk. Sorry.
Michael, I'm sorry, I forgot one important thing that I had here.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing also, it's about research articles. So I think Michael and I have been talking about this for a while, but we haven't had people to come together for us to try and put out some publications out there. It's really important, because most of these big projects and most of these, sometimes some industries do not take us serious, because sometimes we might not have, academic or scientific papers published, right? And it's very easy. We can just publish short reviews. We can just publish a review article. We can do it. But unfortunately, one person cannot do this throughout. So if you think you have the background, if you think you have the capacity, you have the time, just get in touch and let's put some few writings together. We can take about a month or two to write this and get us published in a scientific journal. Thanks.
It is important what you says. Currently, even me is working with somebody on it. But as David mentioned, please, if you have something and you can do it, do it. So Rudy, can we give?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So introduction.
No problem. No, multitasking. Okay, so yes. Yes, sorry, my 2-year-old daughter wants to assist this meeting. Yeah, as Michael said, it's the new generation. And actually, it's one of the reasons also I want to be an ambassador of 5.0. I'm based in Belgium because it's about making impact. A bit of a background. When I met Michael, I also in the formation of my own consulting company, a partnership, an ecosystem of globally. And that's why this work complements really also my work, is about helping businesses, small-sized business in their sustainable business transformation, focusing basically what it means, 17 SDGs, of course, waste reduction, waste elimination is very much part of that one. So where we focus on 3 aspects, we focus on what is your business model, how your business model need to change. So how can we help you in with some companies, certainly with the new legislation coming in Europe, the European Green Deal, affecting our companies, what we'll have to do. We look at the leadership aspect, and also we help them to finance. So what is the financial model behind that? How you, what did it take? Because when I talk about sustainability, It's about being purpose-driven. It's about staying profitable, but also is driving innovation through your organization. So in a way, waste reduction is also an element of innovation, of what it means for business, driving innovation through their organizations. We're also global, so we also developed a program. It's a sustainability program that we're launching this fall in Asia Pacific with our Singapore partner. For you, David, I'm also very active in Africa. Maybe you can see actually my daughter is half African, half European. But I have a partnership in South Africa, and I'm talking currently to the government of Gabon to see what we could be doing there. So overall, we are trying to support, and so that's why the work in Industry 5.0 very complements the work I'm currently doing here. And helps me a lot. And what I would ask for is actually is a bit, and I actually said to Michael a couple of times, is the communication. LinkedIn is a bit confusing for me. I don't all the time to look at LinkedIn all the time, and it's a flood of information, and it's probably too much to absorb. So I'm looking also forward to how we can synchronize our communication and not so much so that it gets to the essence, and that we get, that's for me very key. So maybe Achim, your website, help the website will help, and also how we can improve there. But thanks, Michael, being part of and being an ambassador in Belgium, but also actually the heart of Europe in a way. The European Union is here with Brussels, the capital. Okay, so that's important as well.
Thanks a lot. It's big contribution for me. I try to set up the network that every single of us can do something different. So we are experts in different things. I'm the crazy guy behind, but you are the experts in your fields. And this is so important to do and to realize that. Okay, the next one will come the neighbor of Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Mr. Trnieny. So it's your turn, Richard.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm not sure if you see me.
We can hear you and we can see you. So
okay, also I'm a teacher now, and my profession is to teach in grant school now. But I was an entrepreneur formerly, and my idea is to make the world more happy. And first idea is to save the world. Firstly, also I'm very delighted to be here as an ambassador. And in the last year, if the COVID closed the schools, I have not sitting only on my ass at home, but I have prepared a project with the name Global Enviro Patrol System, which I want to offer to all ambassadors. And my idea is that when we want to change the behavior of people, it's not only about the arguments and about the motivation, but the basic step is to change the identity of people. So only when you change the identity, the inner of your mind, then you can change your mind, and you can laterally change your behavior. So my main idea is to change identity. And the second biggest idea of the project is to spread the information among the most possible people. And my idea is to use schools to these steps. Also, the systems should join the schools into the system and to spread the information between the parents of the class of the students, and then all ideas which can we collect from all of us, then we could spread exponentially among the about 60% of population in each country. Also, that's are my ideas, and that's what I want to offer to the network of ambassadors.
Thank you very much. I know that you already entered with the project and with Industry 5.0 big automotive factory. We will speak later in private about it, but generally, this is the way how we would like to approach different ways, but generally the mindset is the same and the aim is the same. Right now is here Swain, one of the most frequent discussion partner of myself. So Swain, please introduce yourself and let's see what you will say about yourself, or I will say later about you. Your microphone is off. Right now is off, but yes, it's on.
Now you should hear me.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Yeah. I don't know why it turned off a few times here, but okay. I'm the grown-up amongst you. All you children around of ambassadors, it's nice to see you, meet you. I'm the old tree. I hope I'm still growing. I lost some hair and some branches, but still fit for fight and still very enthusiastic about the works that have been initiated by Michael. And he is definitely growing, and he's growing fast. Myself, I'm ambassador for Norway, Scandinavian country in the north of Europe. I'm on the southwest coast of the country, and I'm sort of enjoying my pensionary life, and I have for some time, but I have been engaged, and that was not difficult by Michael and his aim of a wasteless world. My background as an engineer within telecoms for since 1967, so it's some time ago. But in the later years, I have realized that telecoms doesn't work very well without energy, and energy should be the green and the clean one. So I have engaged myself in renewables, and I think I'm very product and technology interested. So that is where I come from. And I have been planning and rolling out both the fixed and the mobile networks in Norway and internationally in Europe and Asia. And I've seen the technologies come and go. So I definitely know about waste, because if there's something that we tend to waste, that is all kinds of products as cars and technologies. And I've been engaged in asset recovery, which means that we have been trying to find reuse of old technology that is regarded obsolete, and try to get it into other networks by reselling. I have two companies that I'm partnering with, and one of them have not only been able to reuse cards and modules, but even break down the cards in components and reusing components, which is a good way forward, I think, because then you have use, you have reuse, you have repair, you have refurbishment, and if you can't do anything of it, then it's recycling. But we should prevent waste. That is our aim, and that's what I'm concerned about. So for the time being, I'm very much engaged in telecom again after 10 years. I'm now in the startup where we are about to build 5G networks for private enterprises in Norway, which I hope that will also contribute to the aim that we have here in Industry 5. But the most exciting things that I'm into is another project that is on a very high level and which is very confidential, so I can't speak much about it, but it has to do with renewable energy that we will take from resources that are available and that may produce energy in the level of terawatts. And we're not talking tens of terawatts, but 100. So this is another field that I'm interested in. And just pretty recently, I got quite interested in a colleague of mine, and a Norwegian engineer that has found a new technology based on artificial intelligence and machine learning that enables old batteries to extend their lifetime with 30%, because he's taking out cell by cell and optimizing the charging and the offloading of the cells. And now these days, I am in direct contact with a Chinese battery company, because my friend in Norway, and the founder, he got tensed on the idea I put forward that why should we do that in used batteries? That should be done and implemented from the new production of batteries. So we will see how that goes. All this technology and all these products, but the good thing about Michael and Industry 5 is that there are 4 pillars, and this is just one of them. And it means that this one first pillar has just about started, and the other 3 have hardly done that. So when we focus on products, social waste, urban waste, and process waste, this is such a big issue that it will engage us for as long as we live if we can cope with it. Being an engineer, of course, I'm interested in the product waste, but I very much look forward to the social waste, and in that respect, the human waste, because that is the value that I hold the most and the dearest and the highest. So I look forward to Michael as we go forward, taking step by step. And I'm sure that we will get on the way in every direction. But you have really started a good journey, Michael. And I hope that I can join you for some time still, having my breath, and look forward to the time with you all, ambassadors and heroes around the globe. Thank you.
I am happy.
Michael, if you
Yes?
may permit me to just say only a few seconds.
Okay.
I'm very happy to hear Swain. And as he was talking, I suddenly recall I have a very good Norwegian friend over here who has introduced something in sustainability, and is doing something really big for the expo. So if I have actually touched base like a couple of days back with him, and it will be nice to, I will, if Swain is available at some point of time, I will touch base independently, and then we could have some discussions to take something forward in the UAE as well. Thank you, Swain, for sharing. I'm also an engineering business management graduate, so it makes a lot of meaning. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you. Thank you. Come again.
The technologies which Swain spoke about, again, it's applicable everywhere we are talking about, especially the battery at the moment. It will be very interesting. We are in negotiation. So if you will find some interesting company and so on, don't be worried to introduce it like we did with Swain. We have a 3-way meeting where we discuss the possibilities and we see whether it can be implemented or no. Just now, the ball is on my side. I'm preparing something for the producer, for the owner of the company. Right now, let me skip a little bit and let me ask Scott, because he's the one who came from US. I don't know whether he's still online at the moment, but he joined us without sleeping in the night. And maybe it's good time to introduce shortly, Scott, and let you go to bed if needed. Please, your turn for introduction.
Oh, hi, everyone. Yeah, I just a little early here, but no problem. It's nice to meet you guys all. So I did join it 2 minutes late. What's the just the intro, or what do you want me to talk about?
It is the intro about you, about your company generally, and about your contribution to Industry 5.0.
Okay. Well, my name is Scott Krager, and my company is Bequest Tech, and it's an aggregator of technologies, mainly specialized in taking NASA and DoD technologies and commercializing them. Just very, very blessed to have a great team of scientists from a lot of different engineers and inventors. So in the space of renewable energies, a battery that is really special, and solar panels that are game changers, waiting for a wind turbine technology that we got coming out, various other technologies and communication supply chain. But one that really has been very exciting to put together is from many different engineers and just a whole complete system of taking waste and turning it into clean green energy. So a system where we just take raw municipal waste and everything, separate out the glass, take it through a glass smasher, and then just remove the plastics and run the special run with plastics that we can take those and divert those in and make specialty energy from it, but also from being able to run it and make fuels and additives from it. For the most part, just is electricity in a clean green way, taking it to a pellet, and then we get other byproducts from it. So what it means for what Michael's been doing and putting together is that once you really realize that there's a better way of being able to do things, why continue to do it the old way? I'd like to see landfills eliminated because it's possible. We don't need to. I hearken a lot to the story of Wally, and but maybe we can eventually change it to the point where I know Michael's vision of this is to get it to a point where we're not even generating that much trash and things. Get it to moving away from a consumerism society. But in the interim, we've got a machine that we can mine landfills and be able to clean those things up. So, well, thank you. Welcome. Nice to see everyone.
So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the introduction. I would like to ask Philip, because Philip is in Switzerland. He just posted very interesting pictures from cleaning up I think it is the biggest lake in Switzerland.
No, it's not the biggest one, but it's a big one. So Lake Lucerne. Hello, everybody. My name is Philip. I'm ambassador in Switzerland. And yeah, like today we had a cleanup like on land and in lakes. And that's also one of I'm a product manager for a railway company, but I'm a scuba dive instructor. And today I was supposed to dive as well, but because of this meeting, I couldn't because they're still running this work. So I rushed back home. And yeah, but I will send you some more pictures. I asked them to make them. Like we already got about 5 bikes out and a lot of stuff and paper, plastic, and everything. And I'm a keen diver. And one goal is to eliminate plastic or reduce plastic because I see the damage done. And but I try to find other solution in plastic. And I mean, we have Nestle in Switzerland, we have big dealers, plastic producers, we have the oil companies in Switzerland, in Geneva, and then we try to reduce to find other solutions. And as I also try to interconnect different organizations, work together, put pressure, political pressure, business pressure on companies to stop them, to change the way of behavior because we just produce too much waste. And I mean, especially in Switzerland, we are really good in producing stuff and export it to take care to others. And yeah, I also try in Switzerland to bring up, to take the companies more responsible, that they can't just produce something and sell it and it's your problem. Yeah, so that's my goal. And what I do for Industry 5.0, I try to to connect it, to make it more popular in Switzerland as well. Like we have to start to reduce trash. I mean, all the things we do, we try to recycling all these things. And I mean, a lot of greenwashing is running around with all plastic recycling, which is just a waste of time. There is no plastic recycling really. And so I try to avoid to produce stuff, unnecessary stuff. So I'm really in line with you, Michael. Don't produce it first, and then look second that you can do with the rest.
Yes. Thanks a lot. I am very happy that in every single of your speech, it's visible how it is connecting us. How not only this aim, but even this image of unnecessary wasting is really very deep in our soul. And we know it can be prevented. So we just started. And we have just need to tell to the others, that's all. And when we speak about the others, so we have been right now in Switzerland, in the middle of Europe. So let's go in the middle of Himalaya to Pratik Karki, because he is our ambassador in Nepal. So Pratik, it's your time for introducing.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. It is very inspiring to hear from everyone. And sustainability and creating a wasteless world, basically, this has been my dream. This has been my vision. And Michael leading the way, it is very uplifting because so many people have joined who have been aligned on the common vision. So currently here in Nepal, we have been working mostly with hemp. We are developing hemp yarn. We are also developing yarn out of industrial waste, out of the raw materials that are used. So there is a lot of waste because 250 and 50,000 tons of microplastic has been dumped into the ocean every single year, and most of it is coming out of the textile industry. So with hemp and nettle and other sustainable yarn, we are looking to build the right alternatives. And not only we make the end product, now we have also worked a little beyond by starting to also enter into the carbon capture market. So from the beginning of seed to end product, we are working to integrate it with technology, AI, and create a kind of model. So we have all the technologies with track and trace and QR, so blockchain, and we are also able to offer this with our team. So yes, besides this, we are also builders. We also build with different sustainable technologies, like with hempcrete, with earth bag, with straw bale, with rammed earth, because I think greener homes we very much need for a greener future. So I also look forward to learn from everyone, and my request to Michael is if we could have like an educating session. So today is like an introductory session, because like a lot of things are there, we hear about it, but if everyone could share, you know, like in slides, and we could understand better about the technologies and what's there in the box, then we could integrate and align it better. So yes,
the answer
Michael,
is yes, because you have not joined us from the very beginning, but Achim presented today the education platform, the online education platform, where every single ambassador can join, can share, and we will use it as the main education platform. So yes, the answer is yes. And I just have to add that I like about Pratik because he is in a school, he is educating there, and he's generally taking the practice and the school and merging together. So the garage concept is generally his work, and which is great, and we will speak more about it. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Pratik.
Thank you.
Good luck. And I would like to skip from Nepal to New Zealand. because New Zealand is quite new on the market, on the network, and it is very interesting to have it. So Tara Okan is the ambassador in New Zealand, and I am just wondering, it's great what you have dressed. I shame that I am just in a t-shirt in here, but you will see why later. So your time to introduce, Tara, introduce you in about 5 minutes time generally, and say what you expect the Industry 5.0 can do for you and what you can do for the Industry 5.0 network.
Well, it depends on whether or not you can hear me. I take it you can.
Yes, we can.
We have a different, we have all the solid wastes I hear you talking about. That's not my field of expertise. We have, as a shameful country, been exporting plastic, accumulating it somewhere in the Pacific. I'm not a person that considers plastic recyclable. I just think we just shouldn't use it. The easiest way to stop 1 billion Coke bottles going into the sea in a day is nobody buys Coke on that day. I mean, essentially, if we don't buy it, they'll stop making it. But that's not my forte. My forte, we have a very different sort of waste issue here, and that's waste in our water supply, because we're an intensely agricultural country. We have a water supply that has become polluted with the byproducts of farming industry and processing industries. So we have areas where we have the nitrate in the water supply has increased 15% due to intensive dairy farming on alluvial soils. Now, consequently, in that same area, we have an increase in our citizens dying of bowel cancer because, well, there is a study that says there's no connection between bowel cancer and poisoned water in New Zealand, written by the people who would be responsible to have to clean it up. And yet there has been that correlation overseas. So we work on systems that remove fecal coliforms, stop nitrate transport into the water, monitor water supplies. We've got a community science project going where we put a sensing station into a river and involve the people around it to look after it, and it transmits data for it. We visit it once a month, and that's a community project. It's a citizen science project reporting on a company has produced a web platform, and as we start adding these stations, we'll have 9 more in before Christmas. We'll have 70 in by the end of next year. What it does is it brings the information of the waste into the hands of the people who are actually creating the waste. They know when their river is getting polluted. They know when they put this fertilizer on, the nitrate goes up. They know what happens. They know that if they're getting fecal coliforms in the water, then stock's getting into the water somewhere, so a fence isn't working. So what you get is ground level community engagement. And that, I believe, is the only place where the war on waste can be won. It's very easy for us to say, oh, McDonald's, you know, they produce all this waste and all this plastic crap and use slave labor in Malaysia to put it all together. Yeah, but we are the ones that cause that because we buy it. If we didn't buy it, they wouldn't make it. And the person that actually throws it away is the person who buys it. So really, the best thing I can do here is I convince people that we live the way we live as we vote for it. And the vote is every coin we might have in our pocket. And every time we spend that coin, we either support an industry that's creating waste or we don't. And it's a choice. Admittedly, the don't side is a smaller range of goods, but you can be sure that these corporations, the only thing they really care about is your money. They care about that money more than they care about life on Earth. But if we don't buy that stuff and we don't throw it away, then we don't have a waste problem because they won't make it. So what we have to do is educate and empower the people so that every time they go to make a decision in the market space, they make a decision in their mind. You make a decision. I say to Mike, when we would go out Christmas shopping, I'd say, if you see something you like, pick it up and ask yourself, is this future toxic landfill? And if it is, put it down and get something else. So we don't have a lot of the things that come with that. And it's a decision. Now, if we're going to be effective at dealing with waste, we've got to stop living on hopium, which is that some technology is going to come along and take care and clean things up, because it isn't. And if it is, it'll be too late. We have to find a way of educating the general public. We're doing it in New Zealand in the water space, all the rivers, all the streams, all the lakes, all the farming communities. We're monitoring industries. We're picking them up where we're changing the laws in New Zealand. In fact, we're involved in a process called Taumata Arawa, which is a 3 laws change to make a lot of the practices that have polluted our aquifers no longer possible to do, and to offer industries solution for treating their waste. So it's not about batteries and it's not about physical waste. Our biggest problem here is that if we no longer have clean water, then we no longer have industry here. I noticed they did it very cleverly in the Rhine. When the Rhine was so polluted, all they did was pass a law that said that if you took water out of the Rhine, your discharge had to be upstream of your intake. So now anything that you put in the water, you're going to suck in yourself. So now you have a vested interest to make sure that what you put in the water won't hurt you if you suck it in again. And the whole river was cleaned up because every industry along it had to play its own part. There was the public value and the public pressure of that. Now there are fish in the Rhine. Apparently you can swim in it. Not something I've experienced. So the water, the hydrosphere that we're polluting is 2/3 of our planet. The sea, the ocean, manufactures 70 to 80% of our oxygen that we breathe. When we kill the sea, we kill the possibility of breathing for us. When we put plastic and oils and microplastics and residuals into the sea, we debilitate it. When we kill all the whales, we debilitate it. When we kill all the sharks at 15,000 an hour, we debilitate it. Eventually, if it stops working, if the whale don't catch the krill and digest it and go into the surface layers and release it as fertilizer, used krill, then the phytoplankton don't get fed and then they don't make oxygen for us. We've got whales dying on beaches with bellies full of plastic. It's obvious. We who throw away the plastic are hurting our water supplies. So we have to find ways and find stories and ways to present and tell things to people so that they can make the decision every moment they're about to create waste. That has to be the education. And that's what we're trying to do here.
I am very happy what is Atara saying, and I would like to advise everyone, because Atara is expert in the water. You have heard, so the water-related projects and businesses. Even we discussed with Amiguel before that in El Salvador it is important. So as you see, again, it proves that every single one of you is expert in a different field. And this is what makes this network strong, because our aim is the same. Our aim is to build wasteless world. And if we put all our knowledge together, that's the way how we can do it. The businesses will not do it because of going environmental. They don't care, you know it. The politician will not do it, they don't care. But the businesses do it because of money. And waste prevention means a lot of money, which is lying on the floor without being taken, because at the moment it's cost. So if we will be able to continue at the same way, I'm asking the CEOs only one question. Do you want to generate waste or profit? There is nothing in between. The environmental aspect, it's connected to this. This is the power of this Industry 5.0, that we connected something to money and we deliver benefit for the environment, but the companies do it because they would like to be more profitable or has less cost. When we change, finally, this operation help us to change the people's and companies' mindsets, then we are on the right side, and the environment will change on a global scale. I see it from the perspective of 8 years. You have joined just days or months ago, but I see what is the development of the last 8 years, because I'm continually doing the same, having the same aim. And I am very happy really that we are able to reach this stage, and still we are not at the end. And I am very happy that Swain said, I have enough power to do it for many more years. Yes, because it's needed. The leaders, the true leaders who lead, who does not only speak about it, they are needed. And there will be needed, because it's like if I implement some improvement in a factory, the situation improve, and then it go back, and it's even worse than before. And again, you have to make a push to make it. But if you do it regularly and on the right way, then it will be not like this, but it will be like this. Very small abbreviation, because you will be able to see that the technology can help us. The artificial intelligence and technology and robot, all of those can help. But as my granddad says, until the robot knows what he is doing, and the robot care about, then when he start to cares, he will no more be the robot, because he will become human. These words came from 1924 novel RUR by Karl Čapek, who invented the word robot. So it's almost 100 years old sentence. And I was given it by 98 years old man, who is really, and who was the great teacher. So right now, some people has to leave, but I hope that it was interesting for all of them. And I would like to open, if you still have time, I would like to open a discussion. We are about 1.5 hours online at the moment, recording everything, which is fine. So we can have a discussion if you have some special project at the moment. And for example, I would like to advise Miguel to speak about the mining project, because it was very interesting. We discussed 2 days ago. Maybe some of you will have an idea. But before that, Miguel, I would like to ask Abdelkrim, because I know he is not speaking English. He does understand English, but does not want to speak so much because he's speaking French. He's the ambassador in Algeria. Abdelkrim, do you want to have some introduction in English, or should we go to discussion? All right. So.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Moi, je comprends, I understand. Je comprends très bien le language. But pour parler, je parle en français. Donc, je sais que parmi vous, il y a ceux qui comprennent le français. Et moi, je suis Khitib Abdelkrim, Nigerian.
Just a moment. Is here someone who can translate from French?
I can speak a very small amount of French.
Ah, merci Karen. Je suis original des télécommunications. Je suis ingénieur en télécommunications, spécialiste des réseaux long distance.
He's a telecommunications specialist.
Je suis spécialiste des réseaux interurbains. aussi, I am specialist in the network, telecom, VSAT, fiber, and equipment of telecommunication.
Mhm.
We understood.
Equipment of telecommunication, interville, tels que le commutation, fiber, and very small aptitude technology. J'ai 40 ans d'expérience. 40 ans d'expérience dans les télécommunications et les réseaux. Le West, je faisais du jardinage et le nettoyage des quartiers dans le cadre du bénévolat. Dans le ramassage du plastique, le recyclage, ainsi que l'influenceur dans le cadre des déchets de West, influenceur en Algérie.
I would like to stop it. We did understood that you are a specialist in telecommunication and so on, and I think it can be very interesting if you get in touch with Swain, who is generally in the same segment on reusing of the telecommunication equipment, not only recycling, but even the reuse. And because we do not understand French, and I know we can write in English, you can write in English, so we will stop the introduction in here because probably we do not get the real content.
Michael, I do speak French.
You do speak French. Okay, so.
Moi, je parle français, hein? Abdel.
Merci Achille.
Ouais. Chanté. Alors, what he said is after his professional career, he was engaged as well in all sorts of waste recycling, plastic recycling, waste collection in some parts of Algeria. And that's what he's still in today.
Okay, you know? Okay. So I hope that the Industry 5.0 will help you and your knowledge will help to us to utilize the electro and telecommunication equipment so as we do with Swain. So let's see what we can do together in this segment. And
Michael, can I just translate?
Yes.
Abdel, Michael, j'espère que ça peut vous aider. Si si tu peux te mettre en contact avec Sven, parce que Sven est aussi un spécialiste dans les réseaux télécommunications et ça peut présenter une opportunité à vous deux. Et ensuite, oui, c'est tout. Tu as bien compris ça? Ça fait longtemps que je parle français, hein? Wow. ça fait 30 ans que j'ai vécu en France. Hein?
Nous, on parle français parce qu'on a été colonisé par la France. Nous parlons la langue arabe.
Oui, je sais bien, mais moi, je suis allemand. Hein, ouais. Je suis un étranger en France aussi.
Non, vous n'êtes pas étranger. Je travaille avec Siemens, je travaille avec GTZ, je travaille avec plusieurs compagnies allemandes. Depuis 40 ans, on a travaillé beaucoup avec les équipementiers allemands en télécommunication. Okay. En Algérie, nous n'avons pas de problème de déchets sur les équipements de télécommunication parce que nous ne sommes pas producteurs. En Afrique, les équipements de télécommunication sont des équipements qui ont été dotés en minorité. Donc, automatiquement, nous n'avons pas de problème de déchets, de waste, of the equipment of telecommunication.
What Abdel just explained, that in Algeria and in Africa, as there are very little producers of telecommunication equipment, they do have very little waste. They import and they try to use it in a maximum way they can. No?
Oui, le phénomène de déchets qui persiste en Algérie, au Maghreb, c'est les déchets de consommation sur les zones urbaines, les grandes villes, les déchets de consommation. Nous n'avons pas assez de déchets spécifiques.
And the main problem in Algeria is really the household garbage. That's the major problem down there. Yeah, and especially in the big cities.
I think we, especially what was introduced by Scott from US, he is having the technology which can face all this solid waste from the households and turn it into energy or another segments. So it can be very interesting. It's still not fully introduced. But okay, so thanks a lot, Abdelkrim.
Let me just translate that, Michael. Abdel,
I think Abdelkrim he does understood English. We have a discussion before. He does understood English.
T'as bien compris, Abdel?
Oui.
Ok, très bien. Alors, tu te mets en contact avec Scott parce qu'ils ont des technologies qui peuvent vous aider en Algérie pour des déchets de urbanisation.
I would like to take over right now again and just said that in Industry 5.0, it is the umbrella above technologies. Okay, so we are concentrating technologies which do exist but are not promoted, like technology for the battery utilization or a technology for solid waste gasification or water treatment and so on. But what is important for me that we include all the time only existing technologies, because there is no time to waste and there are many technologies which do exist already, but we do not speak about, or they are not used properly and so on. So the industry should help these companies and these technologies to be utilized, to grow. And of course, it will be part of the profit will go to Industry 5.0. That's correct, because profit sharing is one of our principles. And why this meetup is all the time important for me, because there are many new ambassadors, many new people to learn. And it is important that we meet regularly, but it's even more important that we discuss regularly. Even with Abdelkrim, he is very active in social media. He is posting. We are communicating because maybe we cannot speak together, but we can write together. So we speak the same language of efficiency. It's just not in a spoken form. It's fine. We can work with it. And if not, we will have an entrepreneur in between. But until now, we did not need it because we can share. I have sent recently, I start to make for the new ambassadors in Kuwait, for Lila and so on, the list of the technologies related to water, to generate tires, repurposing, and soil, recently soil. I make all the time a list of the companies which are already offering something. They are the direct contact to the owner, link of the company. You can get in touch with them, even a phone of this guy or this lady or the responsible ones, so we can speed up the process. At the moment, it is important to say that in Mongolia, Industry 5.0 is trying to take part of water recovery system or water system projects. In Kuwait, we are trying to get into this tire recycling and generally solid waste recycling, which will be very similar to Abdelkrim described project. We are trying to get in other projects as well. And it is on the ambassador, on him or her, to go with this project, to present it, to be there. Just now, Miguel shared some of the links to his projects, but I will give you the word, Miguel, right now, just to shortly describe what we discussed together. Let's say that we have about 20 minutes time. I do not want to take too much of your time. So we have about 20 minutes time to speak and to discuss. So maybe some of us will have already now some interesting solution, which then you can go and discuss in detail. All right?
Thank you, Michael. Dear colleagues, it's an honor to be with you, seeing all the experience here. In El Salvador, we do have a major challenge because there is a high risk of poisoning our main watershed, which is also the main watershed for Central America, the largest one. But we are the main beneficiaries, the Lempa River watershed. How? Because of the renovation of a gold mining operation, Cerro Blanco, using an open pit technology. This is a big impact. And the risk of deep contamination, not only of the Lake Ouija Ramsar site, which is part of a UNESCO biosphere reserve, but also coming all the way, because this is in the middle upper part of the Lempa watershed, coming up of the contaminants to the Lempa River, enriching the human potabilization plant, the water potabilization plant that provides the water for half of San Salvador city. So it's very hard to stop the project, and I don't like to stop things, but to help solve things. And I seek your wisdom in terms of how to prevent the contamination that is likely to occur, and second priority, to remediate close to the source so that the damage is contained.
Maybe, David, do you think that your water treatment technology can help in such a scale? Because the scale of the project, of course, we are speaking about big scale. So what do you think?
I think this is very interesting. First of all, we have to know the contaminants that we are talking about. Probably, I mean, even though we know specifically what kind of activities that are bringing contaminating the water, we have to specifically know everything that is in the pollutants. There are so many rivers, even here in China, there are so many rivers that are being treated and remediated using this technology. So it could be used, but it depends on the pollutant and then the levels at which it's been polluted. We could add a pre-treatment system, or we could add a post-treatment system, but definitely it could be an option. We had such a project recently here in China. It's a very huge river. So what we had to do was to build the wetland in the middle of the river and then diverts the flow of the river. So the water goes through the wetland, and then afterwards, it just becomes purified. So depending on the pollutant level, because it's a river, we can always use a certain portion of the river and just treat the water naturally. But of course, we also have to consider so many conditions, which we can discuss this later, because if people are dependent on the water to drink immediately, or probably there is a reservoir behind it where people are, maybe another company is using it to treat water for drinking or other things, it could also affect it, because it will slow the pace of the river. And if it's probably the topography of the land, it could cause flooding and other things. But I think that it's an option that we can look at. Constructed wetlands works with several pollutants, and so first we have to know what is in the water, which is really important for us to make a move.
Thank you, David.
Can I add to that? There's in Scotland, there's been a really big push in terms of ethical mining, and there's a really good resource available on the Goldsmiths Corporation website, which I'll share after the meeting. There's a list of every contaminant that comes out of gold mining, and all the chemicals that are used in the process. And there's also some really good sort of solutions around that as well. But in Scotland, there's been a big push for ethical metals, and I started using eco silver now. I don't use regular silver that comes straight out of a mine. So all of my jewelry is now eco silver. There's a few issues with that, like solder. You can't get eco solder yet, so that still comes from mines. But the other thing is, my PhD supervisor just recently wrote a paper on the next gold rush, which is where she is taking materials out of landfill and extracting the gold from them. So electrical products where there's gold in the components, she's found a way how to get the gold out of those components rather than taking them out of mines. So I can share both of those resources with you as well after the meeting.
Please do, because this is about the sharing and then about the implementation. So thanks a lot.
Michael, if I can just add one piece. The challenge here is that the first impact of this mine will be in the Lake Weha Ramsar site, which is a key area for bird migration, and is an endemic ecosystem of dry forests. So that's why the wetland, I don't know if it may work at that stage, but it may need to be worked uphill. But so I was thinking before talking to Michael, or even setting up a letter requesting BirdLife members and other networks raising the level of alert on this project and how to block it. But in fact, that is not a doable and feasible option. I would prefer, after talking to Michael, trying to find a solution that takes into account the different angles. And this could be a sample of a high value contribution by Industry 5.0.
But I think that it will be a combination of technologies. So I don't think that one technology, even of the size which I have seen by David and in the plans, I think there has to be a combination of technologies, even a multi-stage combination or something like that. So we have, as I told you, we have in Czech some company who generally put a technology in a river and you can drink the water even if you will never drink it. But it is existing. It is existing. We have it in the generally in the network or under the umbrella of Industry 5.0. So let's combine it, because otherwise these technologies just do their part. But the only complexity is if you combine them. This is what I call multi-layer relationship. So not just one-to-one, but really to turn it like this. And this is something which you do not break. So this connection, it's very hard to break. And this is why we have to find the benefits for everyone, even the birds, even for the nature, for the people, but even for the industries, because as you said, and I think they invested a lot of money already, so they would like to get the money back. That's very simple. But if we help them to still get the money back, but with the protection of the environment, then let's say the gold will be not just shiny, but it will be clean, not bloody. And that can be very interesting. And then we can use very similar for lithium extraction and whatever, all these metals, which are being very, very
Yes.
not environmentally friendly if we speak about the extraction and the processes. And you are right. If we will be able to succeed in such a project, there will be nobody in the world able to say Industry 5.0 is nothing or is just a robot, because it's not a robot. We are speaking, and you are the example that we are the global ecosystem already. We are the trees, the first tree, the mother and father trees, which are in the forests, which deliver the life to all the rest. And that's what I am happy that all of you, really all of you, represents. And I'm happy that the selection was done this way. And with the tools like David described, like Achim described, with our knowledge, all connected together. This is generally why it does not work, because at the moment, the industries does not speak together. The car manufacturer does not speak to bike manufacturer to bicycle manufacturer, because they are not speaking simply, but they are using the same Euro pallet or same packaging or same box, but they don't speak together. One throw it away and the second buy it new. It's wrong approach. So I would like to thank you all for your time, because you right now spend 2 hours of Saturday, which for many of us is free day. Not for all. In China, still working day, isn't it? In some other destination as well. But we spent 2 times discussing the future. And Tara would like to say something more with the sky behind him. So it's your words, Tara.
I actually have one question,
Yes.
Michael. Sorry,
Yes,
this is regarding the Garage that you talk about, the Garage Academy, and you also mentioned somebody is working with you on that project, I think Pratik. So is there some way that you can throw a little more light on that, please? How is that? Is that something that you go physically to a school or a university and talk? And you're using the e-learning platform with Achim? Is that actually the basic difference, or what are you referring to when it comes to Garage project?
I will send you my keynote where I describe it, and let's have a discussion next week, because still
no, we're not going to talk about it now. I just wanted to bring this question to understand it better.
There exists, it was introduced at the beginning of the year generally. It's a combination of physical and virtual education. Generally is the change to the education system. And I will send you today after this talk, I will send you the link to the keynote, which is describing it.
All right, and then, I mean, I think I went through a little bit of the address that you gave when you actually put it up a few days ago. But it would be nice to have a 10-15 minute brief call with you on this to understand it further. So have a very good day, everybody, and thank you very much again. I'm sorry, I will have to leave.
Thanks a lot, Lila, and have a nice day. And right now, the words to Tara.
Miguel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I've had a look through that project report that you sent out. The preliminary phase of this is actually for 11 years. And as it's open pit, as far as waste is concerned, apart from the chemical waste, the destruction of the environment and the overburden that's going to be produced by the crushing mill, you're in a situation where the only thing you can do to mitigate waste is to enforce rehabilitation of the land as the process goes forward. So as they finish in one area, or there has to be a bond held by the government to ensure that you're not left with this gigantic ugly scar, because if it is 11 years of process, the size of the pit is defined, then nature has to be allowed to reoccur on that site afterwards. So it's quite a big subject. A friend of mine monitors mines all across Canada using remote sensing techniques on the tailings dams where they're minus 40 degrees and 3,000 miles into the tundra, and he's still reading data off there to find out what's going on. So you haven't got a situation where you can prevent it. You haven't got a situation where you can treat the waste from it. You have only got a situation in which you can enforce an ongoing rehabilitation of it. And I'm happy to discuss that with you technically. I've put my email in the chat and I'll leave you to that. Okay, guys?
So thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Atara, and I am right now, it was clearly visible how really we can contribute with the knowledge. And this is just one of the projects, but one which can be it can be applied everywhere. So thanks a lot for your time, really, because the time is the only thing which we cannot buy it. Every single second you spend here, you will not get it back. And I am happy you did spend it with me. Not being the best host, probably, not having the best camera. But now let me show you why I have this t-shirt on. Maybe you did not notice before, but this is the shirt with the logo, which is asking, at the top is written, "This is my home." And on the bottom is a question, what is yours? We introduced this 3 years ago generally, and it's quite interesting. So if anyone would like to have a graphic, we have the data. You can print it on your shirt or anywhere. And let me just now, before we end, okay? Right now, get connected, the ambassador. So generally, she is the hero, Rupali. And I would like to ask Rupali, because she followed most of the discussion, how do you see it, Rupali? Was it valuable for you as the hero to see the discussion of the ambassadors?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Actually, yes, it is really a value addition because I am following many of the ambassadors. Like I discussed with Tara and one from Norway. So, so it was really a good thing, and also I would take some of the slides from you and discussed with Danske industry here in Copenhagen. So it's like it's a really a value addition that I feel, and I would like to have the guidance from all of the ambassador to grow in such a what we can say, in such an organization, or yes.
Okay, so it's generally, thank you for your feedback. Why I'm asking and why it is so important for me. You know that already on the second global meetup, I announced that we will have these meetups open to the public, because we don't have anything to hide. In contrary, we just, if we have it open, we don't have to repeat it twice, because the people who are interested will listen. This is why I will put it, after I process it, I will put it in my YouTube blog, I will make it public and so on. But I would like next time to have it really in an open format, to have people from outside listening to our discussions, and to go and step in and to ask their question or to give their advice, because maybe there will be someone who already did something with the gold mining before and who is really, and so on and so on. So this will be the strength. So once again, thanks a lot, all of you, for your time. Have a beautiful weekend free of waste and wasting in all its forms. And stay safe. Yes, and Achim just now advised me, if we can, please, if everyone can put the finger up as the sign that we are following one aim and living in one world. I will make the screenshot right now. Great. And let me check if it's saved. I make many screenshots during, but wow, great, great. So thanks a lot, all of you. If anyone needs to talk later or over the weekend, let's have a Zoom talk and so on. For now, thanks a lot. Enjoy your time, enjoy your weekend, stay safe. And everything, of course, without waste and wasting in all its forms is the basic principles. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Michael.
Bye.
Bye.